Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? We got a little bit of chatter going on to start the stream out. That's wonderful. We got Angel, Nixter, Steven, Roger, Mustafa, Thumbelina, Doug. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing today? Hopefully you're all doing great. Here, I'm going to make a couple of adjustments to some things over here on the other screen. We got some news coming out today. I wanted to hop on and stream it. Did I stream? No, you saw I did not stream Minecraft earlier. I think it's just it's like it was a combination of knowing that my internet's probably going to crap out and like the thinking of like I need to get some videos like made. So I've got like several videos planned, like tested and planned. Now I'm probably going to spend tomorrow like recording several of them. Some really good tutorials. I'm going to put out some bangers this month for sure. I'm just taking a quick moment here to make sure that when I do a little bit of recording for you of this segment to post up on YouTube later, that I don't run out of like storage space on the kid's laptop. Yes, that is the box for the laptop. We're definitely sending that back. I'm probably gonna send it back tomorrow. It's back. It's sitting back there in the background. For those that are here, if you could click that like button, I do appreciate it. If we have any people that have like caught my recent Diablo videos and like that's how you found the channel here was the Diablo videos, speak up, give me a hello, let me know that you're here. The one that I just recently came out with like actually started doing pretty good today. I was very shocked actually to see that it's picking up some steam more and more. It looks like the YouTube algorithm is like finding like the right people to send it out to, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. I'll probably have that like sitting up in the background, I think. Ooh, let me close this down. Another thing that I need to get up, let's pull it up here on, I think I want to pull up on this screen first. We have a little box down there for chat. I think I'm gonna do something interesting here. Hold on. Let me go to YouTube. Let me pull up Diablo. Diablo game. I'm trying to find their channel. I'm assuming is there live here? Is it like scheduled? I don't even see that it's scheduled. We'll have Twitch pulled up too. Twitch.tv/Diablo. Well, yeah, we'll have it pulled up here too. In any event, I think what I want to do is like have like a window set up here. I guess we'll just like maximize it. And then I want to come over to, I think this screen right here you guys are seeing. I am going to pull in, how do I want to do this? I'm not gonna be able to do it in the way that I wanted to. Okay, that's fine. I'll just have it. I was thinking like it'd be kind of cool to have like the stream countdown like down in the corner or something like that for when this stream is set to go live, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. If I was on my other PC, I'd be able, if I was like streaming from the main PC, I'd be able to do it. Or if this computer was like powerful enough to like also run a browser, which I'm going to try really quick. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to like lag it out too much. I'd be able to do it there too. How many channels do you have? I mean, I technically have a few, but this is the other one that's active. I made a Diablo channel, but we're not utilizing that. We're doing it on this channel. All right, so here, let's see if I do twitch.tv/Diablo. Yeah, like it's giving encoder overload. Like I can't even open a Chrome window without it lagging out the PC. Okay, so it's not a big deal. We'll just monitor and we'll switch over when it kind of gets close to that time. While we wait though, let's switch over to our Diablo cam. Let me pull this members goal thing up. There we go. And then we'll just hop in game. I'm going to do a little bit of talking about some changes I've made to my necromancer. What happened to day 4 of Minecraft? I decided not to do it because I'm just so like beaten down from the fact that every time I try to stream Minecraft, my internet craps out and I have to cancel the stream. And that's not a good, it impacts the channel negatively when I do that. And instead I spent my morning planning 2 Minecraft videos, including building in creative and doing some testing. And then tomorrow will consist of me recording both of those to have come out starting next week. And then next week, I'm going to try to start just a more regular streaming schedule for Minecraft. And we're just going to do that. And then I'm going to try to stream Minecraft. I might actually like make myself a hard schedule to where I'll stream Minecraft like 3 days a week at certain times. And then I'll schedule the rest of my things around that. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to like announce the schedule, but I'm going to do it regularly and see if I can get in the habit and see if it works for me. So I was working on, long story short, I was working on Minecraft, just not in a stream, because I have to get some videos ready for next week. December's like the biggest month for ad revenue, so I need to put out some like banger videos. It was obvious at this point that November was a loss for me, and like I'm just gonna be extremely poor in the month of December, and I'll just have to deal with it. Here's for a good month of December. All right. Oh, what's that? World boss about to pop up? Oh no, it's just Legion event. Hell Tide's in. I don't think we're gonna jump into that. So let's talk about my my necromancer here just a little bit. So I actually tried making a change, a big change, a huge change, and I hated it. So what I tried to do was I wanted to see if I could hit some bigger like top end numbers. I wanted to hit some big numbers at the top to where when I hit overpower, my overpower hits are hitting like in the mid millions, right? So I made some changes. Like I ended up like sacrificing my golem, my mages, my warriors. I made since I wasn't gonna do any of those, I added in curses. Or actually I added in, I think, 1 curse, and then I needed to add in something else, or had the room to, so I added in I think like blood wave or something like that. I then took all the points that I had for like pet related things out and put them into more damage related things, such as dealing more damage to close enemies, but getting like they deal less damage to me. There's one here, core skills cost more essence, but they deal more damage. There's one, I thought there was another one. No, I think it was just that. So like I spent all these extra points in different areas to try to like really cap out my damage. I also changed some of my aspects around. I added in aspects that were more dealt around damage because I did not any longer, or defense. I didn't any longer need increased skeletal warriors or increased skeletal mages. I didn't need a sacrilegious soul ring anymore. So like I added in like 1 more damage ring and then 2 different defensive capabilities on my character with aspects. And then I took it for a test drive. And while I did hit some like decently sized numbers, I couldn't do this, and I'll show you. I couldn't just sit here and wail on these dudes at full speed and keep a mana bar, essence bar, like full the whole time, like I'm doing right now. Like it's staying full, right? I couldn't do that. And look at all those damage numbers popping up, right? So basically what I ended up doing was equivalent to like these types of shots where I could get like 5, 6, 7 of them off, and then I would run out of essence. So even though the hits were bigger, the hit that felt terrible. It just felt so bad. So instead, I switched back to this build, but I did some minor modifications, and what you'll see here, and some testing. So what you'll see here, like if I sit here and I like continually wail on this dude, like I'm hitting a lot of hits whenever I overpower crit. I ran out of essence. I'm doing single target, so single target I'm going to run out of essence every so often. But like I'm hitting hits in like the mid 100,000s, and if I hit a proper crit overpower, like you'll see a number hit up in the like the highest I've seen so far is 2.8 million. So the fact that I can just like constantly like wail on mobs so much more, and I can still, with some of these adjustments I made, hit damage numbers in the like 2 million range. There's a 1.5 right there. There's a 1. There's a 1. There's a 1. A 1.1. 800, 800, 800, 700, 500, 1.2, 1.5. Like you see, I can just like start to hit these like decent sized numbers. Here, let me switch and do some consecutive hits here. Like you see all these numbers that pop up when I hit. Like even though I'm not hitting numbers in like the 5-10 million range, like say Minotaur is, for example, like every hit I do, and I don't even quite understand where it comes from, but like I do one hit and I'll hit them like 5 times or 3 times for like 400, 500,000 damage each hit. So one hit, like I'm doing maybe 1.5 million or so on average, it feels like. And then my attack speed when I do this, I'll show you guys here. I'll be able to sustain it a little bit better if I put multiple training dummies just to show you guys the stats. But like if I go into stats and materials and I scroll down to my stats, you see my weapon speed right now is 1.15, so it's like 100, it's like 15% higher. Attack speed bonus of 105%. So right now I'm at 105% attack speed, which I think is capped. I think it caps at 100%. And then my weapon has an attack speed of 1.1 attacks per second. So I'm essentially doing 2 attacks per second. So I'm hitting twice per second at like 1.5 million plus per hit. So really I'm hitting at like 3 mil per second, at least as long as I can sustain hitting like that against single target mobs.
I lack the required
I'm not ready yet.
And then, like I said, I made a few changes. So the main change I made was I've re-included corpse tendrils, grasping veins. So now I get a 20% boost to crit strike chance whenever my corpse tendrils grab enemies for 6 seconds. So it's up almost all the time. It puts my crit chance at about 65-70%. Okay, and I still have room to grow that number, by the way. Not a ton, but some through some of my gear that I need to still upgrade. I thought I changed something else too. Oh, here's something else I changed. I think all this stuff is like generally the same. I got rid of the aspect that gives me essence from picking up blood orbs, because I did do some practice, and it's only when you pick it up. It's not when you consume it, which if I shoot right here, it consumed that blood orb and made a new blood lance. It's not when you consume, it's when you pick it up. So actually, since I consume all my blood orbs via my blood lances, I was actually not getting any benefit from that extra essence that it said I was going to be gaining. So that's how I got this extra damage out of the build. Okay. I upgraded a couple pieces of gear. So now like I'm at 1,468% overpower, which is pretty solid. I have 3 resists capped, and I have room to cap more of them once I upgrade some of my gear. Okay. Oh, this reminds me. I thought I got a new ring of Sacrilegious Soul. But maybe I didn't. No, I got the Ring of Mendel, and that's what I picked up. I thought I changed something else too. Oh, I did swap some of a couple things around with my skills too. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but essentially I'm like very passive heavy, right? So this is all the same. I put all of my passive points in after you've been healthy for at least 2 seconds. I get an extra 12% attack speed from my minions. So I'm getting 12% attack speed from right here. I might not need that later on. Once I get a capped, oh, I do have it close to cap right now. It's at 47%. So that's actually perfect. That's working out good. But essentially what I was able to do was I was able to cap Golem Mastery, cap Skeletal Mage Mastery, and cap Skeletal Warrior Mastery. And these are actually really important for this build. Oh, and you know one of the ways I did it was I took spec points out of Corpse Explosion. So I don't have Corpse Explosion spec'd anymore because I never really like worry about doing damage with Corpse Explosion. Corpse Explosion really provides one benefit for me. It's a mana refill for in those instances where I do run out because maybe I'm hitting single target or I'm firing off blanks, kind of like I'm not hitting anything because there's too much going on around me. So I'll refill with Grim Harvest. Every corpse I consume, I get 6 essence. And consuming corpses will generate blood orbs at a 30% rate. There's another, what was it? This one right here, 30% chance to spawn a blood orb. Hope the interwebs cooperates for you today. I hope so. I really hope so. So essentially we're doing these things and I'm seeing some top line numbers that are pretty good. My survivability is great. Oh, here's one more thing I changed. Vampiric powers. I'm using this one right here. Casting skills heals you for 3% life. So by default, my life is really high because I focus on life to increase my overpower damage. So I have a high life pool already. So 3% means every time I cast, I get about 300 life from it. Okay. Is that right? Yeah, I get about 300 life every time I cast, and I cast twice per second. So this is healing me 600 life per second because I'm casting so much so fast. Do I need to put my YouTube info in Discord? Yeah, you need to link it in Discord. You do, yes. Here, let's hop over here. We're going to just run to the Blood Harvest really quick. We have 30 minutes to mess around, so I can't get involved in anything too crazy. But essentially what I've done is I've got my character to my Necromancer to a space that I think feels perfect. And he's really hard to kill. I want to try to find a siphon.
I need more time.
It'd be fun to find one while I have Artillery Shrine up, but I don't think we will. Survivability is really solid, and I think I have a few ways to just like continually make it better. The survivability is good. My damage output versus multi-target, I think, is among the best in the entire game of almost any class and character. Sure, there's probably a couple that can essentially, like, maybe can kind of do a little bit better, but I'm up there for sure, among the highest. And my single target damage is not bad. My minions, they stay alive really well. Extremely well, which is important because my minions get me essence, okay? And they keep me from taking damage because they're soaking up hits that are coming from other mobs. So like I kind of just like have everything where I want it, and I'm just interested to see what happens as I level up Paragon and what happens as I fill in the last Paragon points. and I start to like get my highest level gear. 30 minutes later till still playing D4. In 30 minutes, there is a live stream for the developer, what do they call it? Campfire chat for Diablo 4. So we're going to be covering that. We're going to watch it together. I'm going to kind of live react / watch it with you guys.
I need more time.
And we'll see how it goes. I am making a video out of it. So we will be recording the event. I'm trying to find a siphon.
I need more time.
Also, don't mind running across these. Oh, is this one?
Time to do that.
Nope. Is this one? Nope. We will kill these guys because we're here.
I'm not ready yet.
Where is this thing I gotta click on here? I don't see it. It's like he's right there.
I need time to do
Oh,
that.
treasure goblin. Like instantly incinerated him.
I need more time.
Kind of odd I'm not finding
I need
oh,
time to
did one appear? Look, again, I don't see where. Oh, there he is, corpse file. Got it. Get those blood lures.
time to do that.
It's weird that the siphon's so hard to find. Usually just a little like rolling around and you kind of run across it. Ooh, maybe it's it over here. Oh, blood lure.
I need more time.
Nope. Well, we need to do the whispers for the gold, so we'll do the whispers for the gold. Thumbelina! What's
I
up,
need more
Thumb?
time. I need time to do that.
Let's head back over to the blood harvest area. I'm kind of hoping that we run across somebody over here that wants to do it.
I'm low on essence.
Oh, he put one in. I'll drop one. Do you have a second one, bro, or do I need to do it? I'll do it, whatever.
I offered you power.
Now, one thing I've noticed with these blood harvests, if any of you guys are doing them, okay? You cannot just stand in the middle or stand in one area and fight this thing, because these blood lures that appear from these guys, they despawn because of all the drops that happen. So you kind of have to like, you go to an area, you farm there for maybe 10 seconds or so, and you got to move. You got to like keep going in a big circle around, or you're going to end up in this situation where the blood lures, some of them are disappearing and you don't get them all.
I need time to do that.
See if I can get this guy up. I got you, bro. Gotta keep moving. Look, here's some in the middle.
I'm not ready.
Oh, here, let's kill the boss. 1 down. 2 down.
I'm out of essence.
I don't know where the third one is. Over here. 3 down. They're also laggy on lower end devices. What is? Necro? Is that what you're talking about? All right, let's see what we got here. Don't need. That's a high roll. We'll keep that. Oh, he wants me to do it again. All right, bro, I got you.
I offered you power. Now you seek to steal it from me.
Again, we kind of farm around for a little bit. Then we got to keep moving. Got to keep moving. The harvest? Oh, yeah. I can see that being very bad for lower end devices because you just get like literally dozens of like loot drops that just sit there because there's no reason to pick up the yellows unless you like need to farm materials. Or you're like in the process of like leveling up. And even then, there's really not much use for picking up the yellows because you get so many of the legendaries anyways. This is the perfect like example of them needing a loot filter in the game. I know a lot of you guys that watch me don't come from like ARPGs, and I haven't played one in a long time, but I do like to watch stuff on them, especially as I've started to get into Diablo IV. And a loot filter essentially makes it to where like only loot that you want to see shows up on the ground. Okay, so like let's say I want to see a ring. I only want to see rings that have crit strike damage, quick strike chance, and overpower damage on them. If it doesn't have that, I don't want to see the ring drop. I could go into a filter, set that for rings, and then I will only see rings that I won't see anything drop except for rings with that. Okay. Now let's say somebody did it again. Let's say there's other things I wanted to see drop too. Maybe I want to see there's like some things I want to see with like weapons or something like that. Well, I could add weapons to that filter with the stats that I want. Armor of certain slots to that. Like, so basically what I can do is I could go through and signify, hey, this is like a perfect drop for me, especially once you get to end game. I don't want to see anything other than these perfect drops for each slot.
I'm not ready yet.
What is... All right, who is this guy? And why does he keep coming down up here? Where did he go? Very tired to see. Okay. So they need that for the game, so that way, like, instead of picking up stuff and spending an hour in your inventory, like looking through things, it would make such a big difference. And like just being able to only pick up the things that you want. You don't have to spend, 5 minutes after every run or an hour after a group of runs just like going through stuff and salvaging. You could just have the things that you want and that's it. Oh, an ancestral ring.
I need more time.
What'd I get? Oh, X-Files. Meh. Okay, let's keep going through. Crowd control duration. They're about to do it again.
I offered
Look.
you power.
Come on, guys! I can't keep up!
To steal it from me.
I'm about to hit 90. Looks like we got a necro here that's a shadow necro. I would like to try a shadow necro again. I know so much more about the class now. I feel like I could make a good one. And I think the way you'd want to make a good shadow necro would be Bone Storm, with the aspect that makes it so Bone Storm hovers around you and it's like a shadow damage instead. And there's a couple of other like really good shadow aspects that you could use with barely had enough with Corpse Explode or with Sever, or both. Is this a two-hand? Yeah. That's a max, or one below max. That's a max. You take damage from a non-physical damage type you gain. Okay, yeah, I don't really care about this one. Barrier active. Bubble. Rings I'm still taking looks at. It's this one. Bone Storm, Blood Wave are also darkness skills. It's a really good aspect if you're making a shadow necro. Who knows? Maybe I even like start out with that next season just to try it out. We'll probably still switch over to Bloodlance anyway, just because I like it so much. But it'd be fun to like try out Shadow Necro again. I don't think I have that ring right now, so I'll probably keep it. I'm trying to keep like one of like every unique I find, just in case like I want to do some testing in the Eternal Realm at some point. All junk.
Come back if you need the forge.
Salvage stuff goes in there. Keep stuff goes in here. It looks like I already have X-Val. And I actually already have a max item power one. Let's get rid of that one. That sucks about leaving is now I'm going to go into a different instance and I'm not going to be with those same guys. I'll do a little bit of traveling around, see if I can find... Oh, actually...
I need more time.
We'll still try to find it, but I can turn in my favors now.
I need more time.
Oh, siphon. Let's do it. It's got like bugged out mobs around it already.
I need more time. I need more time. I'm not ready yet.
Now these usually do get kind of hairy. Like I do hit sections where like it looks like I'm gonna die. I've been good at not dying at them recently, but that doesn't mean that's gonna keep happening.
I'm low on essence. I need more time.
Like I do run low on essence doing these just because like there's so much downtime between the spawns sometimes, and I'm like constant firing. I'm not always constant hitting. I'm about to start getting to the point where I'm gonna have to start spamming potions a little bit. Nope. Oh, it feared me out. That's the only time I've ever lost it recently, is when I get feared out of it. That sucks. Still is good run. Up, Bloodseekers. So I think today, during the live stream, I think they're talking about the Abattoir of Zir mostly. They said they were going to talk about something related to itemization. And there was one other thing. I don't remember what it was. There's one other thing they're going to be talking about too. Abattoir of Zir, itemization. Oh, maybe the Midwinter Blight. Oh, another one. Look.
I need more time. I need more essence.
So yeah, there's like a few things to look forward to in this stream. I'm definitely interested in hearing about Abattoir of Zir. I hope they give us a little bit about season 3 as well, even if it's not a lot of info. Like, tell me a little bit about it. Like, what's going to be, like, what's going on? What's the theme? That'd be fun to know. How, like, maybe give us some screenshots of the leaderboards. That'd be kind of neat. We know they're adding leaderboards. We don't really know what they're gonna like actually physically look like, so that would be kind of cool to know. "15 minutes-ish." Yeah, we're getting close.
I need more time.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. There's a pack.
I need more
All right,
time.
it's about to get time to spamming heals.
I need
Yep,
more
here we
time.
go. Okay, let's spam heals. Oh, wow, I died. They hit me with a lot right there. I got hit by poison. I got hit by, what is it, meteor? Or whatever it's called, where they shoot out the shit and the thing all at the same time. I was about to miss too. Look at all that. Look at all that goodie though. It's still 100% worth it. Lots of goodies there. That's the first time I've died to one in maybe like 8 attempts or 10 attempts.
I need more time.
Here, we'll go turn in our whispers. And then we'll get ready for the live stream.
It is done.
Chaos or gauntlets. Let's take chaos.
Always back for.
Oh, cool. This gets us over 30 mil.
I cannot carry more.
All right, let's see. 840 bubble, no. 709, no. 848 overpower, almost a minimum roll. Definitely not. Blood Lance 23%. We'll keep that. Blood Wave. I want to try. I do want to try a Blood Wave Necro too. I think I could build one almost just like this Necro here, meaning that I think I'll be able to get to like infinite essence with it. Well, I don't. Infinite essence, max attack speed, and just like desecrating screens. The only thing I don't like about the Blood Wave Necro is you're so limited in range. It's not like this Necro where I can just fire off in any direction. So I don't know how it's gonna play. That's a two-hand sword. Yeah, is it? Yeah, legendary two-handed sword. That's a max roll. We'll take max rolls on those. Here, let's go to K-Shad. Are they not streaming it on YouTube this time? That's kind of dumb if they're not. Oh, yeah, they are. Okay, I'll turn that down. Oops, I just hit the wrong button. Okay. All junk.
Anything breaks, the forge is hot.
We'll throw these things in to break down later. Distilled fear, I can carry. I want to take just one like solid look at my gear. I know I have a couple pieces of 925 on. Like these. I'm pulling up my build planner. Necrolancer, Prowl's Necrolancer minion build. Okay. So these are gloves. Gloves are overpowered damage, crit strike chance, ranks of blood lance, and lucky hit chance. Or actually lucky hit, more like this. Like I like to have this. So these are actually perfect, except for I'm one rank of blood lance short. And it's hard to tell if I could get a better roll on crit strike and overpower. Minecraft Legends playthrough, let's go. Oh god, no, please. Those are 821. This is 925. These boots. Boots are cold resist, fire resists, or essentially 2 resists. Fortified generation, which is what I added on here, and I don't want to get rid of that. Okay. 846, 858, 871. Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of item power I can get out of these things. Okay. Let's exit D4. I think we'll watch it on YouTube because I just like the fact that YouTube I can push it to higher resolution if they're streaming in it, which doesn't look like they are, but it's higher bit rate on YouTube. I have another cam somewhere. Yeah, let's take this one. Camera and goals. Oh, no wonder. Camera, goals. I was holding the wrong thing. Put myself down here. Let me find them here on Twitter really quick. I wanted to see if I could find what was the last. Oh.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to tell you about a new end game called the Abattoir of Zir.
Okay, this is from when they announced it.
Powers. My name's Ruben. I go by Bloodshed in the community. Some of you might already know me.
I'm gonna boost the
I'm
sound
here
for you
today
guys.
with Alex Yang, a systems game designer, and Adam Jackson,
the lead live class designer
for all of Diablo IV. The Abattoir of Zir is an endgame pinnacle dungeon event built into Diablo IV. They're meant to be really challenging for the player. The way it works is it's a complete race against the clock. You jump in, kill as many demons as you can, fill up that progress bar. Once complete, a boss will spawn, kill the boss, do this all before the timer runs out. You will not be able to enter until you complete all 7 tiers of your season journey event. But once this task is finished, go ahead and head over to the Occultist. A new recipe will be available for a Blood Forged sigil. So you're going to want to go ahead and craft one, use it, consume it. Once consumed, a portal will open up in Ked Bardu. It's a big blood portal. You'll be fine. Just go in there. Don't worry about it.
A deep dive on the Abattoir of Zir during our... Okay.
Abattoir of Zir dungeon. You will now earn a brand new
Tears of Blood glyph.
This incredibly strong item boosts rare.
Yes, you have to make room on your Paragon boards for this, because once you get it, it's 100% you have to carry it. It's that good.
So I'm curious just how high players can get it to this season.
You will also get a recipe to craft a Blood Forged sigil, 1 tier higher than what you just completed at the Occultist.
For some questions, I'm accompanied by Alex Yang, a systems designer for Diablo IV.
I don't remember seeing this.
Question time, Alex. What's the highest level I can get a Blood Forged sigil to?
So the sigil and dungeon both go up to tier 25, but this covers a much wider difficulty range than you might be used to, from 25 tiers of something like a nightmare dungeon. By condensing this large difficulty curve down to only 25 tiers, we want to make sure that each tier feels like a meaningful goal that you can strive for on its own.
That's awesome. When can we expect to play it?
The Abattoir of Zir goes live on December 5th, 2023.
December 5th.
1.2.3. As a pinnacle endgame challenge, we want to make sure that you have enough time to prepare your ideal character for it. So this is around 2 months into the season with 1 month to go for you to push it to its limits. Afterwards, the thematic event will end, but you will have larger leaderboards to look forward to coming in Season 3.
Awesome,
That's
Alex.
gonna be fun.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate the information, and I'm sure the community does as well. Enough about Zir. Another amazing feature being added to the Season of Blood is the return and rework of some malignant powers that players really seem to enjoy. You can expect to find
they're going to talk about Abattoir of Zir, Midwinter Blight, and itemization updates. I did find the tweet
powers were a boost in a previous
right
season
here
that granted you various abilities. In the Season of Blood, though, you can expect to find 5 of these powers in unique.
I'm curious to see what they're going to add in with the Midwinter Blight. I want it to be more than just like
a good amount of those malignant powers
cosmetic thing.
Strong.
I want it to have like some kind of cool, fun purpose.
Back, but with a healthy balance in mind for the long term.
Religious. This ring, if you don't remember, will auto-cast all your corpse skills, but we'll have a separate cooldown for each skill cast. Raise Skeleton and Corpse Explosion cast every 1 to 2 seconds.
If Twitch is ahead of...
Corpse Tendrils can be cast every 8 to 16 seconds. I didn't get a chance to play Necromancer.
Oh, that's
I know,
interesting.
Sadly, in the Season of Malignant, so I'm
so
excited.
they're not playing the preview stuff on the Twitch side.
Do you remember Focus Raged? Well, it's now called Furor. After spending 100 Fury, within 3 seconds, your next Hammer of the Ancients, Upheaval, or Death Blow is guaranteed to crit and do more damage. Smash. Very good. For rogues, the Trickery power will make a return when you use the Subterfuge skill, leave behind a trap that taunts enemies and explodes demons to pieces. Sorceresses can obtain the power of Tal Rasha himself, gaining increased damage for each element you deal damage with. And Druids, we got a rename here. Inexorable Force is now called Inexorable Will. So when you cast your ultimate skill, you pull up to 30 enemies toward you and deal damage. It's so great to see these malignant powers return.
All the D4 like people are streaming now.
To build with, and I'm all for it.
Aren't they following the Diablo channel?
You're ready to sink your teeth into some of these questions.
Yeah, totally. I'm excited to get into it.
Let's do it. I gotta ask, will all the malignant powers eventually make a return to the game?
Yeah, we have no current plans to bring back every single malignant power, but we are taking a look at what players love, and we're very open to the idea of bringing back fan favorites.
Well, I want all of them, so where can I find them?
They disable chat on
so
YouTube.
You can start
That's
finding
weird.
these powers when you get into World Tier 3, and if you want to target farm them, then you'll be able to get
I'm going to keep the Twitch chat up in case I want to like try to ask a question.
One of the coolest features in Diablo IV, so I love that we have the ability to do that. Will every seasonal theme also make their way back into the game?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's likely you're not going to see every single part of a seasonal theme come back into Diablo 4, but we're definitely taking a look at what parts of these themes resonate with players, and
They really
we're
need.
open
they
the
have to
idea
bring back the
of
Blood
kind of
Harvest. It
bringing
is
back
so
the
good.
things that people really love to improve the game experience for everyone.
All this sounds absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much.
They
for your
should bring
time.
back. This is
Yeah,
what they
thank
should
you.
do.
Hope you
Right?
enjoy your time in
They should bring
Sanctuary.
back
I'll see you in
Blood
Sanctuary.
Harvest.
That just about
And they
does it
should
for
bring
today.
back the
Shout out to you
vampire
guys for watching
powers.
all the way through. We appreciate it.
All
and
of
I'll see you in
them.
Sanctuary.
But limit you to
Hello,
getting like
welcome
one.
Diablo 4 community
let's
to
record.
another episode of Diablo 4 Campfire Chats. My name is Adam Fletcher. I am the
All right,
director
here we
of
go.
community here for Diablo. Of course, I'm joined by two very familiar faces here. Mr. Joe Shelley, game director of Diablo 4, Mr. Joe Pipora, who is the associate game director for Diablo 4. We have a
Joe and Joe.
quick stream to go over some stuff that's coming down the road here in the next couple weeks.
All right, let's hear it.
Which includes Abattoir Zir.
Yes.
And Midwinter Blight.
Yes.
So lots to talk about.
And itemization.
But what's kind of cool about this stream is that it is our final stream of the year, the final stream of 2023.
We'll close it out.
We're closing it out.
Okay,
and
so
this
no
is
more
actually,
streams this year.
It's been a year now since we started these streams. We started with Diablo 4 developer updates on, was it mid-December last year, I believe. So we're hitting a 1-year anniversary now. And of course, on that debut stream, I had these two wonderful gentlemen who joined us as well. So yeah, we have it's been a year. It's crazy.
We've all grown so much.
I know. We went from hand models
Yeah,
to
from hand
holding
models.
maps and things like that
Yeah, that was
to
fun.
Campfire Chats, which we even brought to BlizzCon, which was actually really cool last month.
That was
and
fun.
of course, now we're here to talk about Abattoir of Zir.
All right, let's hear it.
But before we actually do jump into that,
Okay, come
I
on.
know there is a very popular question within chat.
What is it?
And a very popular question within the community that we want to address before we jump in.
What is it?
Which is Diablo 4 bringing pay for power to the game?
I saw this rumor.
No, we're not.
I saw this
We've
rumor.
been very clear about this throughout, and I think very consistent about it, and that continues to be true. And that also applies to things
No pay for
like,
power.
addressing stash, making sure that players have enough stash space to store things. We talked about this at BlizzCon. We talked about getting aspects out of your stash inventory. We had a stash tab in Season 2. We think that having enough space for a regular player to feel like they are good in terms of being able to store the things they need is baseline functionality.
Yes, definitely
And we
is.
have no plans to add any pay for power to the game.
Yeah, it's been a very popular question this week, and of course, we've been seeing it a lot in chat, even as we were in our countdown. We wanted to make sure we talked about it early with everyone to reassure people that no, that is
Like
not
they
the
keep
plan
saying this,
for
and people
Diablo
keep
4.
saying, yeah, but pay
And
for
players are
power.
still gonna
You're
be
gonna
able
do pay
enjoy
for
it
power.
without the need of needing to pay for
They're not
any
doing
type
pay
of
for
power
power.
or anything like that. So, and there won't be any of that in there. So great to hear. And I know that we have a lot to talk about today. The first thing we did want to mention, though, is actually Midwinter Blight, which is
Yes.
an event that is actually going to be coming up here on December 12th. It is our
2
holiday
weeks.
event. It's actually our first holiday event. It's funny because people have asked us about, hey, what about Halloween? We kind of remind people that like Season of Blood is kind of Halloween-ish.
The game is
very
kind of
much
Halloween.
focused in around
It's got
vampires.
vampires, it's got skeletons. I mean, it's got all the same stuff you expect to get from a Halloween.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Midwinter Blight coming December 12th is our holiday event that we talked about and we announced at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
But we wanted to talk a little bit more about that today. Joe, can you give us a little bit more info? Joe P. Can you give
Yeah,
us a little bit
sure.
more
So
info?
yeah, Midwinter Blight, as I know that people got a chance to see some of the video stuff before, and like we talked about at BlizzCon, but Midwinter Blight is obviously our first like true and proper holiday event. We're bringing to Sanctuary and Diablo
I like
4.
that they're doing those, by the way.
In it, we're going to be visiting the Fractured
Having a few
Peaks
a year would
again,
be good.
Where a horrible storm has like descended upon the people of the
Okay.
has descended
Purple
upon the people of
Helltide.
the Fractured Peaks. Now we're going to be introduced to a new character named Gillian, who's a bard. Gillian is.
I
here
wonder
trying
if
to, rouse the
Helltide will
spirits of
intersect
people
with
of
it, and
the Othershine,
that's weird.
trying to help
Helltide
them
and
work together
Midwinter?
to push back against a
That'd
new
be really
threat
cool.
that's emerging from like the hills and mountains nearby, coming down, from the glacier and down from the mountainous peaks nearby.
So, Joe, can I trust this guy though? Because I don't have a good track record with musicians in Diablo 4.
I think that anyone that plays music in the Fractured Peaks is generally trustworthy.
Okay.
So I think that you're going to
He's
be
looking a little sketch there.
I don't know. I
playing in front
trusted all those folks in the vest.
I don't think that's fair to those of us who boast to have nice facial hair. I think that Gillian is a perfectly trustworthy
like
person.
Wolverine.
So, with that in mind, so Gillian's there trying to rouse people together, and they're going to be sending the heroes of Sanctuary off into the Fractured Peaks to fight against this new threat, the Red Cloak Horror and his minions. You know, we're out there kind of like causing great mayhem. They're kind of erecting these disgusting snow sculptures out of discarded parts out throughout the environment. Yeah, here is a group of the Red Cloak Horror's minions just kind of like running around. They're
basically existing mobs that are purple now.
But they're also fun. They're kind of like they're having a good time with it. Like they're enjoying the season. They're in it for the spirit of it, which is just basically causing a lot of mayhem and destruction and pain for the people. So you get a chance to feel a little bit of that as you're going through the.
He looks cool.
Here is our main boy, the Red Cloak Horror himself.
I like him.
This is going to be your opportunity to go and fight this boss. Will occasionally pop into the content. You'll get good rewards from him as you're kind of progressing through the event. And we'll take all of these like trophies
hopefully something cool and special
from all of his minions, and kind of as you're engaging in various events and saving people in Sanctuary, able to bring these back to Kyovashad, be able to unlock some really cool cosmetics.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know there's even a few like kind of exclusive things for beyond the cosmetics for this event, such as we have an elixir, for instance. That
and it looks cool. I like this little lamb leg or goat leg that was down there. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. There's an elixir that grants 10%.
That's kind of cool looking.
When you're drinking it. It also gives you other effects when you're active inside the Fractured Peaks, but you can also just use it for the XP if you want.
And I will note the XP actually does work even outside of Fractured Peaks. So it's like, hey, it's an extra bonus for players if they're looking to grab a little bit of extra experience. And then there is also, for this event, a new like offensive aspect.
Yeah, there's a new seasonal aspect you get to play with. It kind of like dovetails with some of the new shrines and things that we have throughout the environment. So there's a lot of fun stuff for players to engage with throughout the season. And then again, a lot of really cool cosmetics to collect.
Yeah, so it's a lot of cool stuff coming in Midwinter Blight.
And these the things.
So special aspect and new shrines.
The elixirs and the aspects persist after Midwinter Blight ends, and they do, right?
Yep. They do. Yeah, they will persist after the event ends, but you'll only be able to collect them now during this period of time.
Exactly.
Interesting. So, I wonder what this aspect is.
Stock up for the elixirs themselves, and of course, Midwinter Blight is on December 12th. So make sure to log in.
That sounds cool.
It'll be running through the holidays for players to actually jump in and check out from that end. But the next other big thing,
that's like 2 weeks away.
Exactly.
What's happening?
Zier!
Yeah, what's happening next week? So we're actually going to go back to the week prior to December 12th and on December 5th.
As you would naturally do. You naturally work out 2 weeks, then come back a week as you're talking through things. Yeah.
Organization. But yeah, we're actually going to move to December 5th, which will be the Abattoir of Zir. This is a new endgame.
All right, what are they going to tell us about?
Actually adding to Diablo 4. It's for a limited time only. It's a seasonal event specifically that we announced at BlizzCon. And we are actually, for the first time on one of our streams, we're going to have a live run through of the Abattoir Zir, starring. You won't be able to see this wonderful man on camera, but he is mic'd up because we wanted to hear him struggle. That is Filthy Rich. He's actually a senior community manager on the community team here on Diablo. You may have recognized his name on our forums, posting patch notes, hotfix notes, etc. Rich is amazing. And he is actually going to be showcasing a little bit of Abattoir.
Okay, we've got a Sork.
Okay.
Right off
you can pet the dog in Diablo 4.
When we practiced this, the dog wasn't there.
in case it wasn't clear, that is still a feature that exists in the game.
Yeah.
Say hi, Rich.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. There's a spin of friendship. Okay, so
the spin of friendship.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like last stream of the year, and we're doing it live. This is fun.
Now, and when we say live, we're talking about this is a live, like he's playing for real right now.
Yes.
That is what I was referencing, but I wasn't clear. That's true.
But it is on a dev server.
Yep.
So we won't run into other players, and it is on a dev build. So there might be some debug text or
unless
other
the dev
stuff.
just happens to run it through who's also on this
Could
server.
happen.
But
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you might see some weird stuff, folks. And if people,
I'm
honestly,
fearful we just sent out this megaphone to the team and also running over the bridge.
Well,
Somebody's
anyway.
gonna like
This is the first time we've
slash
done
kill
something.
command
that's
him.
absolutely right. And if you complain about it, we just won't do it again. And wouldn't you rather just see really cool stuff? I bet you would. So let's see.
All right.
All right.
Avatar
so Rich,
here.
what build are you going to be running here for us today?
Yeah, so on my side, I'm actually going to be running a popular build, the Ball Lightning build.
Ball lightning build. Okay.
I'm going to wait
let's see
for
it.
Joe to kind of explain some of the earlier stuffs, basically a lot of the gameplay loop stuff. But pretty familiar for those who've been watching a lot of the endgame
Just
material
base
for
the
Ball
most
Lightning.
overpowered build this
Specifically
season
for this, I'm really
overall.
focused around like survivability, mobility, with a sprinkle of DPS. But I think before we get into
With
it,
a sprinkle.
sprinkle.
Yeah,
Ball
you
lightning
talk
known
about
for
ball
it's
lightning.
low damage output capacity. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Rich here. So let's say we're talking about the abattoirs here. I know we talked about this before, but for the uninitiated, this could be a new end-game dungeon content experience for players to engage with that really unlocks after you finish the season journey of Season 2. So if you really want to go and start going through this content, you'll need to have done all the things in the
So you
season
craft
beforehand
sigils.
to be able to gain access to the very
You access
first
it like a nightmare dungeon.
Blood-Forged sigil. You're able to craft here at the Occultist. And once you've
And
taken this sigil,
you
this is gonna
craft a
open up
specific
new
tier
dungeon
that you wanna
space
do.
It's going to be more challenging than a tier 100 nightmare dungeon.
I didn't see which
Now,
one
there
did he
are
craft.
25 tiers of the abattoirs here for players to engage with. And each of these does get progressively much more challenging as you step up.
Let me see it.
Much more
Which one
challenging
is
than,
it?
say, going from like a
One.
tier,
It's a tier 1.
75 nightmare dungeon to a tier 76 nightmare dungeon.
Okay,
going
let's see
from
it.
a tier 1 to a tier 2 to a tier 3. These are really significant steps by comparison. So, and we want this because we're giving season 2's been a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun.
It
playing
opens
my
it up
Firewall
right
Sork
there
now.
in
It is
K-Shad.
It is. There's.
But that's
we
in
want to make sure that
Ken
there's a
Bardu.
really good place for players to be able to bring all of this power they've been collecting from whether they're farming Duriel for Uber Uniques or just they get a really, really great combination of vampiric powers. When I have a place where they can go to really show off and really push hard into a type of content. That's the focus here.
Yeah, and we mentioned you mentioned just now that the avatar requires that you've completed the season journey,
Yes.
right? And so the season journey, the last step of the season journey requires you can skip two of the objectives, but there's still difficult objectives like kill Duriel, even if you skip Echo.
I'll have to see if I've done them all.
The tier 90 nightmare dungeon requirement.
Oh wow.
And that's not arbitrary. That's because characters who aren't able to do that really are not ready for Avatar of Zero. So
Yep.
I know there are a lot of folks who are level 100 out there who maybe haven't completed this yet. We've got this weekend coming up.
Yes.
So get your
Yeah, we're gonna have to really crank this thing.
Exactly, and if players still haven't completed it by this weekend or when Avatar Zero actually hits, they can still complete it anytime when the seasonal event is actually going on and jump in even afterwards. So if you've got plans this weekend or something like that and can't finish it, don't worry, it's okay. You can still do that over the next couple of weeks because this event will be going through January or the beginning of January itself.
Right.
So
You still have time.
you still have time. So I know Rich here has actually, as we were talking, spawned a level 1 abattoir using the sigils himself right there. So I think this is a good opportunity for him to kind of jump in.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, so Rich has done a little of this content on his character here already. So he's got a little bit of a preview of how it's going to play, how it's going to feel to play through. But I think it's going to be pretty fun. Let's see how he performs.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I did want to address on that I saw from chat is that character that I have is as close as I can be to being maxed out. Because this is trying to be as relatively close to what I've been practicing
level
on,
155,
which has been the tier level 100 nightmare dungeons.
Which Ball Lightning is taking a little bit of time to kill.
Out as well. On the actual sigil itself, I think one difference here is that I'm not aware of what afflictions I'm going to encounter in this battle. So I think capping things or getting as close to as capped I can for things like my armor, my magic resist, my damage, and all those. Just really trying to be ready and prepared for any surprises.
Yeah, I know, Rich. Because you've played through Abattoir a little bit, you've built a little bit more survival on your Sork here, as opposed to like completely glass cannon. He's a little bit more prepared than I think some other people would be. But I know with us showcasing here a level 1 Abattoir, kind of at least showcases a little bit. How would you guys compare this to like a Nightmare Dungeon in terms of like tier difficulty, or like would it be similar to like a Nightmare Dungeon in terms of tier with a level 1?
Yeah, the level 1 Abattoir of Zir is like kind of close to what like a level 104 might be. Like that's kind of where things start, and then things step up from there. Now, you'll see here right off the bat, there's some big differences, right? Like on the right-hand side, you see that there's a bar that's being filled. Abattoir of Zir runs are really
monsters before time runs out to summon.
So Rich here is really focused on killing creatures as fast as he can in an effort to kind of beat that timer and summon the boss at the end of the experience.
Okay.
Loot's not dropping for him as he's kind of rolling through this thing. We don't want to slow you down. We want to keep you killing as fast as you can to show off.
So you see the little like clock on the bar with a red line. That's the time.
As we step
and
up,
the orange is him filling the bar.
What's interesting about this is, we actually, taking one step back actually, some of the things that Joe's talked about when we were at BlizzCon.
You see lives remaining 0. You can't die.
In-game content and itemization, rewards, and things. The things we want to do to continue to make the game better. Abattoir of Zir is like it's designed explicitly to appeal to players who are at this stage of the gameplay experience, and we're going to be using it to kind of like think about and iterate upon more features like this we want to bring out in the future. That's one of the reasons why it's a seasonal event. It's a fun experience for season 2. But we'll have slightly different ideas in the future of how we want to kind of create similar content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point.
So it might be fun to do in groups too. I wonder if it changes the how much
by the way, Rich
you need to kill.
Has been so lucky with shrines every single time we've watched him go through.
Yeah,
he like consistently gets artillery shrines, which I'm just gonna claim like I don't know, community manager.
Community manager RNG. Yes.
Yeah. I think part of it.
I'm going to be 100% honest with everyone here and those watching. I went super tanky because I think one of the nightmares that I would have is actually to die in the middle of a demo.
We'll make that happen. I promise. But I know with level 1, as you can see, Rich is like well ahead of time, so he's clearly geared up.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good
and ready for a level 1.
So we're gonna see the Abattoir.
At the end of these Abattoirs, we'll see here in a second as he gets to time.
Come on, Zir.
We do have a little bit of a kind of an end period for players, a little bit more of a challenge towards the end.
Yeah. So and one thing that's making this particularly interesting is with the vampire powers in season 2, with Rich running Metamorphosis regularly, he's basically got like permanent unstoppable. As he's just kind of like using Flicker Step to keep resetting that unstable currents, and he is just keeping that 4-second unstoppable uptime. And you summon the boss. That was spicy right off the bat. So every time you manage to clear one of these levels, you're going to summon 3 Bloodseekers, who are pretty strong. You're going to have the
he almost died. You see that?
You're going to have to go ahead and clear through. The timer is still ticking, but Rich has got a really good, healthy lead on the timer right now, so I don't think that's going to be a problem.
He came close
again.
again.
Be a question of whether or not he gets spiked by something he didn't expect. But with the amount of barrier you should be able to pack with your Sork at this point, I don't think that should be a problem.
I don't know. This is a unfavorable
he's
spot.
very close.
I don't like this spot.
You're in some tight corners.
I think in every single practice this has happened, but what I'm feeling lucky about is that I don't have a suppressor, which is definitely a nightmare for me in my Ball Lightning.
So that's it.
I'll pass it back over to you because there's actually some pretty cool stuff.
So you don't actually fight Zir?
Over here.
Yeah. So upon finishing your first run through the Abattoir of Zir, you're going to earn the special glyph associated with the seasonal event, which is the Tears of Blood glyph.
Okay.
You can see here now. Rich has already spent some XP on this, upgrading it before. But this is an extraordinarily powerful multiplicative
Wait, he's not running any other higher level Paragon glyphs.
This has got 200
he doesn't have any Paragon
for you to upgrade through in the course of time. It starts out at the size of a tier 15 normal glyph. Normal
they always
glyph.
show up at the top.
So it is extremely strong right off the bat. So you're going to be able to use this to kind of help you get through some of the more difficult tiers as you go deeper and deeper into the experience. And there's one other really neat thing about this as well. So this experience, the Tears of Blood glyph itself has like a lot of Paragon glyph XP that you
glyphs
need
on his
in order to
character
upgrade it as you continue to like go on through the experience. And one of the things we wanted to do was make sure that if you're at this stage, if you want to experiment with other glyphs, you can still like you get giant amounts of XP from finishing Abattoir of Zero level.
1,000.
Yeah.
You get 1,000.
Players
From tier
right
one.
there saw 1,000 XP.
From a tier 1, you get 1,000. So if you want to use this as an opportunity to kind of like rank up some of those other glyphs you've got because you want to play with other things.
Do this to power level your glyphs.
Things. Here's an opportunity for you to kind of like go and quickly like level up a bunch of those other glyphs that you have. In addition to like not taking too much time away from your Tears of the Blood if you're trying to like keep pace with that. But we think that's like an extra fun little bit. But yeah, Tears of Blood glyph, super powerful for players to be able to engage with. Again, it's only here for the season, and it'll be retired at the end of that season.
Yeah, and like we just saw Rich, of course, churn through a level.
So
1
basically, it's like a race against the timer.
Yeah, struggled a little at the end, but
It was a little struggle.
Seekers come at you at the end, 3 of them.
I know, Rich. What key or what?
If you die, you lose.
So I think what I did over there was the sigil one. I think what we were talking about was trying to make like an engagement moment, basically by having chat almost pick the challenge ahead. So what I've pre-crafted beforehand is a 2, a 6, as well as a 10. Funny enough, I created backups for this because like, hey, I might die. But I think it's just one of those things where I would love to reserve the 10 and
the
beyond
25
levels, for a later moment.
Yes.
But
Do
Adam,
the
you had a
25.
great idea.
And as a reminder,
chat.
like tiers for Abattoirs here go up to 25.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there are a significant amount of tiers, and they of course go up in difficulty by a pretty like almost an exponential amount as you're going from tier to tier. But be curious. Okay, all right. Like you already asked the chat, and the chat is already going like screaming 10.
Yeah.
So they just want you to die.
Okay, we said like we're gonna let chat choose 2, 6, or 10. We'll see what they say. I'm like, it's gonna be 10. They're gonna absolutely want to see.
Chats always want you to die. That's the
Rich,
point of a
take
chat.
us into a tier 10, and let's see how he does. Now, are you gonna adjust builds a little bit
you
here?
You have 4 potions too. I just want to call.
He doesn't have any Paragon glyphs on right now.
For the players at home is that obviously you saw that the previous one I was geared up to be a little bit more tanky because the last thing that I want to do is embarrass myself and die on there. But I think what Joe and team can do is also explain like how some of the scaling works as I go up. So I think I'll just go in. I think what I'm trying to balance out now is just try to add a little bit more damage output by sacrificing some of my tankiness. Just because I anticipate that the higher HP is going to be a challenge, and I don't want to lose to the time.
So these guys,
and I actually want to see how far I can progress. So let me activate this.
Will they be like 165?
Yeah, the nerves. It's the nerves.
Yeah, to Rich's point here, I mean, it's not easy to play games on stream, right?
No, it's not.
No, so this is why we're gonna have him narrate.
It's very hard. So hard.
A full Romeo and Juliet play to us as he's playing.
Yeah.
To ensure
Full color commentary.
Full concentration on this.
No, so to Rich's point earlier about how the scaling works. So as we were experimenting with this content, one of the things we discovered pretty quickly is we just didn't want
It's not the same
scale
dungeon every
monster
time.
damage up, in a really significant way as you're kind of going through this content. We really want to focus a lot more on monster health scaling as you go.
Okay.
Because we quickly get to a point where like any bat that kind of like clips you, which is basically just completely ice you unless you're invulnerable at that point. And it just makes it a less fun experience overall.
This is
so we
good.
want to make sure it was much more about like can
this
you
is
beat
where
that timer, can you
my
survive the bosses at the end.
Character
not
excels
as much about
is, like,
damage gets
packs
so,
of damage
so
like that.
high over the course of time that there's no opportunity for different classes to really be able to perform. Right.
They're 157.
The Tears of Blood glyph really is going to increase your damage output.
Yes.
Right, so leveling that up.
Did you actually have your Tears for Blood glyph equipped?
Oh, is it equipped?
So I did not, and I think one of the things that I wanted to do, I mean, for me, I think as I've been going in and testing it, like I think it's actually been a pretty cool experience to see like how it's been with and without. I think just
that pack's
exploring a little bit more into it as well. Like while my Paragon board is optimized for what I have
those
here,
guys.
it's definitely opening up a lot more. Hold on a second.
Also, you didn't replenish your potions before you
I
went
tried
in
to
here.
warn him.
So
It's about. This is for the
mistakes
stream.
were made.
This is for the
stream.
Oh, I see. You're
This
trying
is
to
for
give
the
yourself a
stream.
disadvantage.
It's not for the stream.
For clicks.
He
I see.
effed
This is
up.
for the stream.
He's got more max potions.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any, but he doesn't have any
Rich
Paragon
did not do
glyphs
himself
on,
a few
from what I
favors
could
here.
tell.
One, he did not replenish his potions, and then 2, he did not equip a Tears for Blood glyph.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are
because-
falling behind that timer pretty quickly at this point.
because he wanted to. be a
he's
show-off and
he's
is
regretting life
not
decisions right now.
Showing off.
Well, it's interesting to see how valuable, you were talking about this earlier, how valuable the vampiric powers are in this content as well.
Yeah.
Really configuring those.
Yeah, I mean, if you're permanently unstoppable, like Snake Family is a lot less dangerous to deal with across the board. Like you don't have to deal with that that charging stun. You don't have to deal with you don't have to deal with the paralyzed.
He's only got one potion left.
Advantages. I think it's funny that we got snakes randomly twice in a row.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the nature of live gameplay.
And I will say
it's not just snakes though. You can see other things in this.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. Each time you enter Abattoir of Zir, you're going to have different monsters, different tile sets, different layouts.
And I think the big thing here is that my eye is definitely drawn into the timer compared to how it was in the tier 1. I'm definitely not taking out as many monsters as I need to get the potions, and
that
he
has no potions left. So here comes death.
And
everything seems
I
fine
will
here.
say the normal progression for players will be.
And he's dead.
Oh my gosh.
So watch when he goes to his Paragon here. I'm assuming he's going to put it on.
The story of Rich.
If they show it.
I will say that the normal progression for players is not to go immediately to a 10.
Yeah.
Chat deemed that you needed to go to a 10 immediately.
Yeah.
And Rich deemed that he did not need to actually equip his Tears of Blood glyph.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But this takes us to an interesting point. What happens when you die in it?
So when you die in the video game, you die in the video game. So actually, you're going to lose your run because you have no respawns available when you go through a abattoir of Zir.
So
run.
for those that
you have to go
want
back,
to
you'll have
a
to
little
make
bit
another
more
queue.
casually
No, that
do
part
it,
is
especially to
lost.
power level glyphs and stuff.
So
Group
just
play is going to be
word for
very
warning
helpful.
for even a double I guess penalty for hardcore players. Lose your character and you lose your run. Lose your run.
Huge double penalty. Double
one
penalty.
major penalty and one small one.
You're going to see a lot of those hardcore players. They're going to die.
I
in
do want to
this.
just follow up on the mention earlier what happens at the very end. I think the trying to return back to
or
the
at least use
adventure,
it like cheat death.
surprised
potion.
by this is something that we wanted to call out as
Which
well.
one did he do?
Yeah, so basically, if the portal's gonna be there while the event is active, but unless you've actually used a sigil to kick it off, you're basically just gonna be able to come to this kind of broken edifice here, and there's nowhere else to go.
I'd be curious, if you are in here with a party, can you revive other party members?
Yeah, I'm sure. Right?
If they happen to die.
When a player goes down, the run is over.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Wait, what?
There we go. So I know there's a few people.
One
asking
player
questions
goes down,
hey,
the
how long
run
is the
ends.
group? If anyone dies there, it's a done run.
Interesting.
So it is a little punishing.
It makes
but
sense.
At the same time, it is endgame content.
Absolutely. Sure.
Nobody wants to be that guy.
One of the things really interesting about having content like this at the end game is we do want to make sure that there are lots of ways, as you've seen in Season 2, to farm up different gear that you want and make sure that you can get your characters to be really, really powerful. But then when you get into the next tier of content, do we want you to continually always get more gear to always replace the gear that you have, right? So the Tears of Blood glyph is an example of us kind of experimenting with different ideas of progression for players and see how these things feel.
Yeah, having replace everything all the time infinitely is annoying.
And always more things for you to go push for your
But
character.
having one thing
but how much you have to reintegrate
and then one thing there
aspects of your
would feel good.
Your build every time you kind of go through a content tier feels like something we talk about quite a bit.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm really excited about for this is Tears of Blood is going to be really, really powerful. Again, 200 tiers, multiplicative damage increases. It continues to scale up as you go. It's very, very strong. It's going to be fun to see players who are able to see how far people can eschew that, not use the Tears of Blood glyph, and see how far they're able to actually get into the content. So I think that's going to be very, very exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm hoping players end up, sending us tweets on social or sorry, it's not tweets anymore. X posts.
Yeah, posts and reposts.
It's a tweet.
On
Call it a
social, or posting on Reddit and forums of how far they can actually progress. It'll be really cool to see where the community kind of lands and where some of our more hardcore players end up landing as well, especially hardcore characters, people that really risk everything to try out this content. So there we go. So that's Abattoir Zir. Abattoir Zir, again, hits on December 5th. It'll be with our next patch. And that will be next week. We actually plan on having patch notes available
itemization
on
or is that a lie?
Diablo4.com tomorrow. So it will be available for people to check out patch notes for that update hitting next week. So thank you again, Rich.
Yeah, thanks, Rich.
Really appreciate it. Thank you for sacrificing your.
Rich, you should have equipped some of your glyphs.
Nearly the same as your live build.
Yes. This build I wanted to make as close as I can to in terms of a 1-to-1 representation of what I have on retail.
Well, if he did
for a
have
lot
them
of people
equipped,
at home,
he didn't
want to
have any
kinda
of them leveled
have
up.
and see and play with something that's relevant to them. So yeah, just tried to do that. Excited to see everybody online. Let's farm up. Let's do this. See how high we can get.
Get your season journey done. Because that is the requirement for jumping into Abattoir of Zir and checking it out. Cool. So I know one thing that we do want to talk about as well that we had mentioned on social, and this is just a quick mention from us and a quick update from us, and it is around itemization.
Okay.
One thing we do want to show off, though, is we all have, well, I'm not zipped up. I'm wearing my Diablo 4 bomber here. Oops. There we go.
Doing some extra hand modeling.
But yeah, we do have these really fancy little shirts here. You guys even remember the cue.
I remember.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah.
Damage of
this is a playoff
Tuesday.
of
Damage on Tuesdays.
Adam Jackson.
It's funny that they're making fun of themselves. I like that.
Before. Damage on Tuesdays.
Damage on Tuesdays.
And yeah,
it felt appropriate for discussing.
We felt like this was an appropriate time to show off.
We're like,
these
we're gonna take. Well, what we'll do is
specifically.
we'll take the jackets off while Rich is playing. We won't forget to do that.
We were supposed to do that.
We were supposed to do that to have this be like a better bit.
So instead, everyone just got to watch us awkwardly take off hoodies and jackets. So,
I think the people loved it, obviously.
Yes, and I do want to give
like
a shout out to Ricky on our art team. Richie on our art team, who actually ended up making these amazing damage.
Yeah,
on
I love
Tuesday
the
shirts.
graphic design on this.
Yeah, it's really cool. Little rogue shooting through Tuesday. But itemization, I know we wanted to talk really quickly about that, and Joe.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot to talk about. At BlizzCon, Mr. Shelley himself got a chance to kind of talk about a few things that we've got coming. We have going on. We talked about some of the problems that we see with itemization out there today. I think just to kind of reiterate some of those.
Announce
points,
a filter. Do it.
As players are going through the experience, it is. It's challenging the amount of mental bandwidth you have to use to process all of the items that you're collecting. It's difficult to find upgrades because there's a really low chance for you to get like a perfect rare roll. And generally in ARPGs, it's okay for it to be a low chance for the roll to be perfect, but there's such a high degree of variability in items right now as they stand, where it's like usually it's like, okay, well, this item is 80% of what I want it to be, and that can feel okay to find that pretty regularly, but that could be kind of hard to find right now in Diablo 4, right? And feels almost virtually impossible. You can go through 200 pairs of gloves and not find a perfect pair of gloves, for your class. There's a lot of things that contribute to this. There's the number of different affixes that we have.
Tons of affixes.
The fact that we don't have a lot of things in place that say like you can't have like multiple skill ranks, on an item. Like right now we allow you to have like 3 different plus core skill ranks on an item occasionally, and that doesn't really serve anybody. So one of the things we want to think about a lot
depends on what it is.
As we're looking towards
Passives, it's
2024,
good.
it's like it's December. We're looking back at a year of talking together and trying to paint a picture of like what we want moving forward for us. We want to be thinking more about like we have plans for solving these kinds of problems. We also see that there's not enough like runway with items either. Like there's a lot more they could be doing for the player when they drop for players. So one of the things we want to think about more as we get into 2024 is having items really be kind of like the start of a journey. So when something drops for you as a player, we want that to be like cool. You want to be able to get this and say, this is awesome. I can't wait to do X, Y, and Z to this and make it like really, really great. Right? Like this is the perfect thing that I need for my build. And to feel that you've got more chances, like
you only get a little bit of that with the enchanting.
Incorporate that into what you want for your particular playstyle. That's important for like
and
player
adding like
expression,
the
for build
aspect
making.
on it.
It does a lot for just making the game more exciting. Versus like every single time you're looking for an upgrade, it's only whatever immediately drops in the ground, and I kind of have to make a decision based on that. We want to go a lot further than that, I think, in the future for players. Now, these are the sorts of things I'm talking about are pretty big, right? Like in season 2, we made changes to the resistance system. We made changes like vulnerable damage being multiplicative, making that additive. We I think people that saw, like, we made a huge number of changes to the way that stats work and skills and a bunch of other stuff, right? Huge number of changes. And the reason why we did so much of it at once was because many of these things were very interconnected.
Yeah.
And trying to improve these systems by doing like one small portion of it can actually make everything worse. Because this is now like almost like a little island of a different idea that's floating out and not integrated properly into everything else in the game, right? So as we think about the sorts of itemization changes we're looking to make, the reward changes we want to make things more exciting for players to chase, and really, again, if Diablo is a game about killing monsters and getting loot, then killing monsters feels pretty good right now. I think that getting loot has places where we can make improvements. We need to make sure that's holding up its end of the bargain, right? But to make this, the sorts of changes that we're talking about, there's basically a number of other things that are going to need to be adjusted
he's saying
so
it's going to take us a lot longer than you guys want us to take it to do.
For itemization that we want to be able to produce. It's not coming in Season 3. We're looking at Season 4.
Okay.
We want to be able to target
Tell
a
us
lot of these
what
changes
you're thinking of doing.
En masse.
Tell us what you're thinking of doing.
Season 3, which we're not talking about today. We're not talking about Season 3 today. But there's still cool stuff that we have coming up. Which we'll talk. I guess we'll talk. Well, yeah, sure. Right. We're about to talk like a tiny bit about Season 3. There's still lots of great feedback that we're getting from players about their experience playing.
So this is what kills me. You kind of have an idea of what you're going to do. Just tell us, like, hey, for Season 4, we're thinking of adding a loot filter
to incorporate into Season 3.
Yeah, well, and one of the things that we've seen with Season 2, right, is this was you were talking about how we made a lot of changes to itemization. We made a lot of changes to builds.
Yeah.
There were some things that got less powerful, but we really sort of I think we did a great job delivering on some of the stuff we talked about back in Season 1 in terms of making, when we make changes to stats or classes or itemization, that we make sure that we're adding lots of new cool stuff. And I think we plan to continue to do that with Season 3, right? So I think we've talked. I've said on social, like, hey, we're not gonna nerf your builds here throughout Season 2. We were just playing Ball Lightning, right?
Yeah, sure.
Just live here, and we think that's really important because we built Abattoir of Zir based on the balance of the game as it stands in Season 2. But then as you get into Season 2, you can Season 3. No one's going to say any of the right season numbers today. But as you get into Season 3, you can expect to see some of those balance changes, kind of like what we saw in Season 2, right?
That's right. So we'll change along those lines. We'll be able to talk about those as we get a little bit closer to the Season 3 release date. And there's a bunch of other changes we're making in Season.
Well, there's the one thing about, I know you were talking about with itemization. We're prepping a lot of changes, and we've actually we have talked to at least a group of Diablo partners, content creators already about some of the itemization changes that are going to be coming in
talk to me.
4.
That's right.
So they have actually. There are people aware of some of the details and changes that we're actually offering. So we're doing that mostly for we wanted to get some feedback from and bounce like some ideas that we actually had. So we're really looking forward to actually going through all of that and making sure and refining it a little bit before
tell us what's
we actually
going on.
put it out in front of everyone. And so there will be more news about itemization as we go through Season 3 and into Season 4. Obviously, with the big changes that are going to be coming, but we have been actually talking with a select group of people, with our Diablo partners, our content creators, specifically on that. So, and I wanted to make sure like people weren't thinking we're working within like a box or something like that from that end.
Yeah, like Joe said at BlizzCon, like if end game content is one of our highest priorities, itemization is our highest priority, right? Like we're actively working on these things. It's just they take time because they're expansive. And it's going to be better for the game, bringing these things together into one big release. We're very, very excited about it.
They definitely need to get aspects out of the stash.
Plans and getting some of that initial feedback.
They need a loot filter.
We're in motion. We're working through these things right now.
I think a local stash and a shared stash.
That's not all.
Would be
right?
good.
Like, as we look towards Season 3 and talk about like the sorts of things that players are having some difficulties with right now. There's a couple things that got brought up. First is Forgotten Souls.
Yes.
It's very annoying.
Obviously, we see the players are having a tougher time getting Forgotten Souls in Diablo 4 and Season 2, relative to other points in time. One of the things that we're doing based upon that feedback and feedback about Helltide is actually
we don't want to feel like we have to do every Helltide.
So basically, Helltide's going to be up every hour for about 55 minutes. It's going to be like a 5-minute break, and then it's going to come back up again.
We don't want to do more Hell
It's going to make it a
Tides.
lot easier for you to farm those.
No, we don't want to do more Hell Tides.
Yeah, we really saw that it worked well with Blood Harvest, and it's something we wanted to bring over to Hell
That's
Tide.
because
I think
Blood
there are more
Harvest is
lessons
fun.
From Blood Harvest.
They got the wrong
that, we
thing.
can
That's not the
incorporate.
right way to
This
do
was one
it.
that we thought was really important to get into.
This is
Yeah, and this is just part of like the things we learn through seasons that players really enjoy, and it helps us make the game better. You know, there's even like the idea.
I
that
see their
from
chats
season
popping
1 to
off saying
season
this is a
2,
big W.
where we
I
brought
don't think so,
malignant
man.
Powers kind of back in those unique rings that we announced at BlizzCon, and are
Hell
obviously
Tides
now
feel
out
like a
now.
chore.
Blood Harvest has taught us a lot about players' expectations.
They're not
like,
as
what
fun as the Blood
they're looking
Harvest.
for when it comes to like things like Helltide as well. So it's just some of these learnings that we continuously apply to the game, which has been really great.
You got to make it more
and I
fun.
want to talk about another thing that we saw in season 2 that I've sort of been talking about as the 925 problem.
Oh, sure.
Basically, when you first get access to World Tier 4, you can start getting the highest eye power loot immediately from world bosses and from Duriel if someone carries you through Duriel, and that Duriel totally makes sense. It's a super hard encounter. It's a farming encounter, right? It's level 100. The world bosses probably shouldn't have a guaranteed chance to drop 925 now because we hate having players have good loot, just because when I was playing through it, I was 72, and all my gear was 925 at that point. And I felt like, where am I going to go from here? Now, it wasn't all. I had a bunch of garbage affixes, right? Like Joe was talking about, but there's another part of this problem, which is that as you get up toward close to 100 and reach 100, it feels like there aren't enough. There isn't enough variety in places where you can get 925 gear reliably. Like it can drop from Varshan, but it's a very small chance. It can drop from stuff like Beast and Ice, and so it feels like things like turning in Obels, turning in Whispers, doing some of those other ladder bosses, and even in some cases some of the Nightmare Dungeon content. It feels it can feel like, well, I guess I'm just supposed to do Duriel and maybe do the world bosses when they come up.
Yeah, it's not consistent enough from other sources that aren't Duriel and aren't the world bosses.
Yeah.
So we love that you want to go farm Duriel for urban uniques and for unique items. We like the idea that you want to go hit world boss when it's up, and that's fun. But it doesn't feel good if those are the only two ways for you to really adequately find this kind of these kinds of rewards. So there's gonna be a balance there. We're gonna be certainly evaluating that to make sure that it feels like it's a little easier to find 925s in other top eye power items. In other
Nightmare Dungeon bosses would be a good place.
Awesome. Yeah,
for
so
them
we
to be
have
more likely.
some changes coming with season 3 to
Legion
based off of
events.
feedback that we've gotten from players with season 2. Things around Helltide, things around
They could put them in those things too.
The eye level 925 items specifically. So, but yeah, great to hear. Lots of changes coming up, and of course, season 4 we have some big changes for itemization that are along the road. So, I know we want to jump into Q&A now. Because and this is an opportunity for people in chat to kind of jump in and ask their
I'm so
questions.
sorry, Adam, for ruining this transition. So I guess one last thing on itemization. So part of all of this is trying to find more ways to. What's this?
I love the lower third.
Oh,
This
wait,
is
back?
No. Back to itemization.
As it should be.
Okay, yeah. So part of all of this is trying to find more ways to communicate, different ways to communicate the what our intentions are, what our plans are. Try and check them against the views of the community. We don't want to overpromise, underdeliver. We want to make sure that we're really happy with the plans. So we're going through this. We're going to continue to try to provide as much detail as we can as we go. This isn't about kind of creating a grand reveal. That's not the point.
Right.
We want to manage expectations and also make sure that we're really, really happy with what we have, so that when we deliver to players, to be excited about it. So when we're ready to talk more about these things leading into season 4, we're gonna make sure that we do a whole stream about these changes.
Yeah, it's more about getting it right than keeping it secret.
It's
not about.
Exactly, and then just goes back to why we've already started talking to even just some of our Diablo partners, our content creators, a little bit about it, just to make sure that we're not working within a box where we're trying to get this right and show it to everyone. So. All right, so Q&A.
Let's see what they do.
Again, I'll do my preamble again. This is a good opportunity for people in Twitch chat to be able to drop in questions. I know chat's moving quickly, but we have our community team is actually in there. Props to Lisa Casey in there right now.
They usually
and pulling
answer some
specific,
pretty good questions.
Questions for Q&A. I'm watching Rich. By the way, no one sees this. Rich is. We have a whiteboard in here. Rich is like, oh, Midwinter Blight. This is a question that a lot of people have been asking. It ends on January 2nd.
Right.
So
January 2nd.
People who are asking in chat, Midwinter Blight goes through January 2nd, so everyone is aware of that. And then Abattoir Azir actually goes nearly to the end of the season.
That's right.
So players can check out Abattoir Azir almost all the way through the end of Season 2. Good reminders on these end dates. I will say that there's a question, before we jump into questions from chat, there was a question that we've been getting a lot online from console players specifically related to gold trading that I do want to actually address as well.
Oh, yeah.
People have sent me videos, and I totally understand. It has become very, very tedious to actually trade gold. And since gold accumulation has actually grown within Season 2, it's become very tedious as a console player to trade gold using the UI and the user interface within the game.
There's been some gold inflation in Season 2.
Exactly.
We know.
And I know they have to like manually scroll their gold, and it can be a little difficult. I will say that is being addressed, and the team is working on a fix for that. We're hoping that will be in for Season 3.
Yep.
So players on console will get a little bit more, I guess, of a relief during that specific point.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier to put in, 100 million, a billion gold, whatever you want to put it.
Exactly. So I will jump into questions here. We have Pow Warpig. Why is Abattoir Azir considered a seasonal event and not normal content?
They're testing it now to see if they want to keep it later.
That's why. So because, as I was kind of talking about a little bit earlier, but like the Abattoir Azir is a piece of content. We're putting it out there, and we really want to see how players interact with it. We want to see what people like about it, what they don't like about it. We want to be able to take that feedback and incorporate that into more things that we do. Yeah. We are going to be looking for more like, we say things like, seasonal and evergreen. We are looking for more evergreen pieces of endgame content for players to engage with, to just kind of continue to level up, the base Diablo 4 experience, particularly in that World Tier 4 environment. But we want to be able to do that in a way that is, that is intentional, right? So
yeah. I think you were saying earlier we want to make more content like this, but with Abattoir Azir, this is the first of.
It's the testing grounds.
It's the first time we've done something like this.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to learn some stuff from it.
Yeah, we intend to learn some stuff from it.
Question from Breezy Seashore regarding Abattoir Azir. Will we get any sigils or sigil powder from Abattoir Azir dungeons?
Abattoir Azir runs do drop sigil at the end, but you don't get sigil drops as part of the Abattoir Azir runs.
Perfect. All right. And then I guess this is kind of similar to a question that you guys, the first question, which is from Mr. Beefcakes Gaming, saying, are we getting some sort of variation of this mode in future seasons? Are there like more big plans related to endgame beyond Abattoir Azir for D4?
Yeah, I mean, in Season 3, we know that we're going to be launching the Gauntlet and the leaderboard systems and trials.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to have some endgame content there. We are looking at more content just like this, and we will be releasing it as well. During the course, we're talking about some ideas potentially for Season 3. We're talking about things we want to do in Season 4. So we are working through all of that right now. But yes, you will see more content like this in the future.
Yeah, and jump into Abattoir next week and play it and tell us about it.
Yeah.
If you love it, then tell us, and we're going to make more of that.
Yeah.
Question from
looks fun.
Rimas. This is where I
This
struggle.
is like a year of this.
Yeah,
Of Adam saying a name with an
y'all
upward
just need to
inflection
have
at the end of
easier
the name.
Twitch names. Like mine's Pez Radar. It's like so simple. Come on,
Not everybody can be as clever as you with Pez Radar.
I know, so clever. I took a popular candy and mixed it in with the word radar. Everyone. So Rima says, any news on a loot filter?
My wife's
any
misbehaving in
plans
chat
for
right
that,
now, so
things like that.
she's
This is a
going to go to
popular
timeout.
question we tend to get quite often. So
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you can answer too. I think we answered. We had a question like this at BlizzCon.
Yes.
And what I said, which continues to be true, is that we think that being able to filter your loot efficiently is a baseline part that should be part of all ARPGs, including Diablo 4. Some of the changes that we're planning coming up for itemization in Season 4, I think will help with that. we're going to look at those and look at the in the context of a loot filter as well. Like we're certainly not.
He said the word.
Against adding a loot filter, and it's something that we're looking at alongside.
He said the word. He said loot filter.
The changes that we're making, but the changes to itemization are so significant that if we added a loot filter today, it wouldn't work after we changed them.
Yeah, there's gonna be significant changes.
So people don't take that wrong.
Like, some of the problems, the big problems
they're
we're
saying
seeing right now in itemization.
They can't. They're not adding one in right now without the other changes because it would just make life harder and not work right in the future.
They're not really good for anybody. Nobody really wants to try and buff duration. Right. Nobody really wants. It's not. I shouldn't say no one really wants 3 or 4 resists on an item, but like there are some people that want 3 or 4 resists on an item. We're probably not gonna do a lot of that in the future. There's more things we're doing to make it just easier to parse item to item. The sorts of improvements and benefits and make it more exciting for players.
Question from It's Doffy. Are there plans for more Butcher-style bosses like Bloodseekers?
Yes.
Would love more types of these
I like
encounters,
that.
Especially
like having the
during
Bloodseekers
world
pop in, the
bosses.
Butcher.
That'd be crazy.
That's fun.
But having like 4 Butchers spawn in the middle of a world boss, that'd be fun.
This is a different kind of world boss at that point.
Exactly.
Yes, that would be really fun.
Any plans for like, I guess it's that surprise type of element with
Yes, do it.
Yeah, we love that the gameplay that we're getting from Bloodseekers, like dropping into dungeons occasionally. I think you see even just like the fights at the end of the Abattoir of Zir runs are already pretty fun because you don't really know what combination of affixes and Bloodseeker classes you're going to get when you kind of wrap things up. Looking for more interruption, disruptive content like that, that kind of creates these bolts of excitement. When you go into,
like you don't want it all the time. If it's all the time, if it's annoying. But like having it happen
world
like
bosses, and
once every dungeon or every other dungeon would be fun.
Last week, and when you stagger Treasure Beast, you can actually get one of those little treasure goblins that pops out. But his loot isn't very good, so we're gonna fix that.
So there we go.
Not exactly.
Not exactly that.
But
Joe had that experience and wants to let everyone know. Fixing that.
Look, I got 1 rawhide and 300 gold.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A lot of people are going like Treasure Beast. What's that? That we tend to use more internal names prior to when we actually develop real names.
The world boss with the big chest full of gold.
Exactly. So ignore our internal. Hey guys.
That was his internal.
Yeah,
or utilize it and confuse everyone like we did.
Exactly. So you guys, I know that. We've gotten questions about, we still get questions. We're still getting questions because people didn't see the beginning of the stream. We do want to confirm that we did talk about and address the questions we've been seeing a lot in the community related to pay for power that have been swirling around. People talking about, are you guys planning on adding pay for power in Diablo 4? And I know that we talked about it in the beginning. We have confirmed that we are not planning on adding pay for power in Diablo 4. So I just want to reiterate that now because there's a lot of people who probably missed the beginning of the stream. I do want to just readdress that there are no plans for that.
Again, we have no plans to add pay for power to Diablo 4.
Yes, everyone who's sending me posts on X.
See, now what people are going to say is,
I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop making jokes
You
about
said
this.
there's no plans to add pay for power. You didn't say that you're not going to do it.
No, we still do not. The thing is, it's still true. There's no plans to sell power in Diablo 4.
See, plans. Yeah. He's saying plans. People are going to hone in on the word plans. Watch.
Actually, color palettes, because we've been seeing a lot of like customization and everything.
You're not saying.
This is from.
I'm definitively not adding it.
When are we getting more color palettes for transmogs?
Yeah.
Also, pink is a color.
That's a good idea.
They want to make sure people are aware that pink is a color and they would like pink.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, we don't get enough feedback on this, I think. I think that there's a lot of cool ways to customize your pigments in the wardrobe, and that there are a lot more things we could do there, both in terms of color palettes and other things. That
more transmogs.
Awesome. Skulm TV asks,
like they need to
rework some skills or abilities.
More every season.
Like the Necromancer could really use some movement speed or skill abilities to help out with some of their movement issues that they're having right now.
Yeah, I think Abjax has been on stream before. We've talked about the Necromancer specifically not having a lot of extra movement speed ability or like agility style abilities like that.
More vampiric siphon, yes, so fun.
For making these sorts of adjustments over time. there's not an immediate plan in terms of like, in season 3 we're going to do X. Like we don't have that, but we are trying to make sure that as we continue to release new seasons, make more unique items, make more legendary powers, that we're thinking about like the ways that players can use them to kind of augment and help parts of their class. Like we hear, very frequently, like, Sork has a really tough time dropping vulnerable on creatures, so everybody runs Frost Nova. Like we understand. There's things we have plans for, but like addressing these kinds of concerns that players have across the board over the course of time. But we're also always looking for opportunities within itemization to also, buffet these classes and give them some things, these extra support they need.
Yeah.
I'm going to take one last question here before we close it out. This is BG Fan Germany. Will we ever be able to play the campaign on a higher difficulty?
Yeah, why don't they allow that? I think that needs to be a thing.
A couple people have asked for this. I think this is an interesting idea. The campaign is something that...
I thought about this the other day.
Sort of each time you play... It
would be fun to play it on a higher difficulty.
You kind of get diminishing returns on how exciting it is, because some of it is based on surprise and emotional resonance, right? And some of it is like, another reason to ask this question actually could be, hey, I want to fight Andariel more times, right? And so one of the things that was cool to see with Season 2 is bringing like Duriel back, previously only part of the campaign, right? It'd be cool to do more stuff like that. But it also could be cool to play the campaign again on higher difficulties. Like, we want to have more ways for players to play the game, yeah.
And I will call this out. Davey B mentions Diablo ebooks with Joe Pipora. Reading when?
Yeah.
Joe?
Let me,
narrator Joe Pipora.
I'll work with my agent and we'll figure out when I can start doing some voice work on the side.
There we go. Thanks, Davey.
You know what? I appreciate that people like to hear the sound of my voice as much as I like the sound of my voice. So that's great.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, I know, Mr. Joe Shelley, you would like to say a few words to the Diablo community as we wrap up our final stream here for 2023 for Diablo 4. Would you have any parting words?
Yeah, I do. Let me get my hat.
Oh.
Got this hat specifically for this.
It's been a long year.
There we go. There it is. All right. Now I feel more in the holiday spirit.
The fact that you own this hat is just very interesting to know.
But yeah, like we said at the beginning, it's been a pretty exciting year, right? Like we went from testing the game, doing beta tests, doing open beta, I remember getting my Shava horn and wearing it on my mount everywhere. I still wear it when I show up to World Boss. So
I still wear mine.
Can know.
You gotta brag. You gotta be like, as part of that group, that exclusive group.
Getting my wolf pup from participating in the beta. All the changes we were able to make as a consequence of testing in the beta. Playing through the campaign, right? Getting to really have Mephisto as a huge complex character for the first time in a Diablo game. Finding out what happens with Lilith, and getting to meet all the characters along the way, right? Bringing the fish back to
doing damage on Tuesdays. That town Don't forget about that.
The major beats.
Hey, this
exactly.
Look, there's one quest designer who's like, I made those.
It's a fun quest.
No, but it was really the campaign in Diablo 4. I think we're really proud of the work that we did there. It was really cool for players to experience that and share in it, and for people who pick up the game now to check it out. Of course, we launched Season 1, and we got tons of feedback on Season 1. I think we learned a lot from that.
We did.
It was a real learning experience
Their
for
butts
us.
still hurt.
Those of you who've been with us for a while, I'm sure
people hated Season 1.
Had an opportunity to give us a lot of that feedback. But one of the things that I want to point out here is that it's incredibly valuable to us to have players who are passionate about the game, because that's how we get the opportunity to make changes to it, right? Like when you have a game that no one cares about, you just don't get any feedback about how it can be better. And one of the reasons we've been able to do all the things we've been able to do with changes in Season 2 and all the stuff we've been talking about here today and things that are upcoming for the game is because of all of your feedback. So please continue to give us feedback about all the things that you don't like in the game and all the things you like in the game. We love to hear it, really.
Can I say one thing? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you can.
So it's
Wow.
funny. Whenever
Totally killed his vibe.
I don't have a hat. I'm so sorry. This is Joe signed up. One thing. Like I do get asked this quite a bit. Like, you know, how do you deal with all of this feedback? Sometimes it's like really, really direct. And the way that I sort of think about it is like whenever someone sends me a message about Diablo 4, or like we're reading a community post, or you know, watching a video, whatever it is that we're doing, you know, at any given time. Even when people are like angry or disappointed, like everybody ultimately, I think there's one kind of like truism here, and that everybody wants Diablo 4 to be good.
Yeah.
They went and played the game hoping for a specific kind of experience, and they want that. You know, so even when people are like pretty, pointed
Visceral
in the ways they're talking about things they feel, it's because they're passionate about it.
Assholes.
So, yeah, it's just kind of undergirding your point.
Yeah. I think I can't say it enough. Blood Harvest, right? Getting to do Blood Harvest in season 2, getting six to 8 people together, overloading the zone to zone caps so you can bring 150 lures together,
Yes.
farming that, getting
Yes, that loop is so fun.
so many legendaries that you have to stash them in your stash tab and then run portal back so everybody doesn't leave you behind. Getting Farm Durio, right? Linking your mats to make sure that you don't have that one person who shows up for the first couple parts of the rotation and then mysteriously vanishes without contributing. Getting to bring holiday events like Midwinter Blight. Like, we're really excited to be able to, we're all going to go away for the holidays. That's why I've got my hat here. And it's cool.
Yeah, a lot of dev teams, they'll typically take
doing it,
like a couple weeks off
a whole bunch of
during
awesome
holidays,
content,
like
content
the whole studio
for folks
almost.
to play in Diablo 4. And it was cool to see some of the Steam getting nominated for a couple of awards in a couple of places, some player choice awards. I think players can still vote for that. So, we would love it if you're having fun, if you nominated us for that. And I think this is our first year of this. It's been a long year and an exciting year, and we're really excited for next year and for the future and for season 3 and all the stuff we're bringing there, and itemization stuff coming, and the expansion that we announced at
Vessel of
BlizzCon.
Hatred, yeah.
We've got so much stuff to bring to Diablo 4, and so we hope you'll join us for that.
Yeah, so thank you guys again. Thanks to the Diablo community, of course, tuning in through all these Campfire chats, all our developer update live streams, and we have a lot more planned for next year. Our next stream is actually going to be live from Albany, New York.
Abattoir Zero looks good.
We're going to Albany. We actually we have of course locations with multiple teams.
I'm pretty excited
here
to
Diablo
try
4.
it.
And we have a
with
studio up in Albany that will be ready
Necrolancer.
for season 3 for a reveal.
Bloodlance
so we'll have a
Necro.
developer update live stream then.
It looks like it's set up in a way
going live from there and
to where
checking
my
out
build
season
is
3
going
and
to
revealing
excel
more information about it next time you guys see us on
in
stream.
these dungeons.
Before we do head off,
extremely.
Of course, we want to remind people about some other Diablo activities that are also going on during the holiday season. And
What are
we
these
have
activities?
like D2R. We are bringing back the 22 Nights of Terror that was introduced last year, so players will be able to actually experience that. D3, Season 30 PTR. Notes go live tomorrow for that. So people will be able to see some of the balance changes that are coming in Season 30 for Diablo 3, and we'll have information about when that PTR is actually going to start. And of course, Darkening of Tristram, which is a very popular event that happens every single year, will be happening for D3 again, so players can actually partake in that. And for Diablo Immortal, we have a huge update. It's actually probably our largest update since the Blood Knight, which is the
Nobody
Splendid
cares
Souls
about
update,
Diablo
which will
Immortal.
be coming on December 14th.
Nobody cares.
Lots of Diablo activities
Pay to win
throughout the
garbage.
holiday. Again, thank you to the whole entire Diablo community on behalf of the Diablo dev teams here. We're looking forward to our holiday break, and we're hoping you guys enjoy your holiday break with Diablo. So thanks again. We'll see you soon.
And there we have it. So we learned about a lot of different things. The Abattoir of Zir, I think, looks pretty fun. We'll see like how it functions when we're actually in it. But if you die, it's over. If you're in a group and anybody in the group dies, it's over. They focus on scaling mob health rather than mob damage, so you don't just get insta one shot. And I'm excited to try this out because my Necrolancer build is actually focused around doing good around larger groups of mobs. So if Abattoir Azir is just larger groups of mobs that stay alive longer, that benefits me because I can keep Essence up indefinitely. And the more mobs around, the more blood orbs I make, the more damage I do, the faster they all die. I think this is going to be, I don't want to say easy, but I think my build's going to hold up compared to a lot of these other builds out there, including some of these big like boss killing builds, because there's no real boss here. Except for the 3 Bloodseekers at the end. And we'll see how they do. Bloodseekers can be kind of rough sometimes. So we'll see. I got a few more things to do. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. That's the recap. All right, we stopped the recording there. Okay, that was interesting. We learned some things. We learned some stuff and some things about what's going to be going on in the game. I hate that they spent all this time on the Abattoir and it'll be up for what, 1/3 of the season, then go away. Yeah, but I think I kind of hinted at this earlier while they were like going over everything, is that this is their like test. This is Abattoir of Azir is like, hey, like we have an idea for something that could be fun for in game. But just in case it's not as good as we think it is, like we're going to say this is a test and we're going to let you guys try it out. And then if it's really good and you actually do like it a lot, then we're going to do more of it. And if it's not good and you guys just like trash it and you think it sucks, then we're going to just toss it out and figure out something else. So that's why. Yeah, I get it. It's greater risk from D3, but like, and I haven't played a lot of D3, so I mean, I can't really comment directly, but I've heard so many people like talk kind of negatively about greater risks, mostly because like it was the only thing in game to do. So and a lot of people didn't like the infinite scaling of greater rifts from what I understand. So I think they did, yeah, they took some of the things that work from greater rifts and they basically made it into this Abattoir of Azir. But like they want to see how people are going to react to it. Are people going to like this in Diablo 4? Is the Diablo 4 audience going to like this, or are they going to crap all over it? And then what kind of adjustments based on feedback they get can they make as they like get us a more finalized version? And they weren't infinite. Okay, there has always been a cap. Okay, yeah, I'm just going off like things that I feel like I've heard people say, but I haven't heard anything in a while. So I was kind of just guessing a little bit. Here, let's go consumables. Critical strike chance, critical strike damage, cannibals, max life by 20%, resource cost by 10%. Lucky hit chance by 20%. That sounds fun. Let's do that. And then let's do. Wait, I do have all these lit up, right? Yeah. $57. Suppressor, volcanic, death pulse. We'll do a volcanic. Where'd Miss P go? She went to go pick up my son from school. She learned who not to mess with. Mess with the bull, you get the horn. Oh wow, that's some lag. Yeah, see, like I'm just thinking of like how this Abattoir is gonna work, right? And just like groups of mobs like this. Once I like finish like getting my setup done, like it's gonna be perfect for me to just like be able to roll up in there and then just spam like this and just knock out these packs. And I'm the bull. Of course you are, Minnow. Of course you are.
I need more time.
See, that's all I gotta do. Pull them together, get out of the way of the big blasty stuff. Oh, this dude's still alive.
I'm not ready yet.
What'd you think, Prowl? I mean, it's not like they gave us like some kind of like crazy information that like we mostly didn't already know, but it was fun seeing the abattoir.
I'm out of essence.
And I guess like we'll kind of see how it plays. I was hoping we'd hear a little bit more about season 3. The fact we're like a month out, they're not telling us anything yet. But it'll be exciting to hear about season 3 when it comes. I guess they want people to focus on the new content hitting season 2. They're ending your group run. Even if one person dies, nobody's gonna want to run in a group. Yeah. Especially if there's like mob health scaling. Like it feels like a group is gonna be harder to run in. And I wonder if that's some of the feedback they're gonna get on it, or maybe they don't want people to like, they don't want groups to be the way to do it. What do you rate it 1 through 10? My thoughts on the Abattoir of Zir. I mean, it's so hard to rate it when I haven't experienced it, but I mean, for what my expectations are and like what I would want out of in-game content that's designed to do what they want this in-game content to do, I mean, it's probably like a solid like 7 or 8.
I'm out of essence.
I think it'll be fun. Man, those mortars hurt. Is fire resist one of the things I've capped? Nope, fire resist is the one thing I don't have capped. That's why fire's freaking destroying me. That actually is beginning to make a whole lot more sense. They made the entire game half the MMO. The whole idea is group play. You get more XP in groups. Yeah, I know. And I think they really need to, I think they should lean in more to that, just with being careful to not go too far. You know what I mean? Like, there should be a healthy amount of like things that are fun, interesting, and exciting to do as a group. This leads into like what I've been talking about with like them doing like more things for clans, guilds, whatever the hell you want to call them. I think they call them clans in Diablo, right? But I feel like guild is more appropriate for this style of game. But yeah, like I feel like they really need to focus more on like that kind of stuff. Like they need to add in like customizable guild halls and like more guild based activities. I should be able to like link up 3 guild groups and get 12 people together to do like certain things. Would be really cool. Like World Boss. It's good they come up with a way to level glyphs faster. Yeah, I think your glyphs gonna level way fast, like an incredible amount faster. It's probably not even worth it to do these nightmare dungeons from a getting glyph XP perspective, because I think you're gonna end up getting so much glyph XP from the abattoir that it's gonna dwarf whatever you could get at the highest tier of nightmare dungeons.
I need more time.
But yeah, and I still think, like, I'm going to stick to the fact that they really have something special they can do with strongholds. Like, strongholds were a really cool thing that they added into the game until you beat them and you're like, okay, they don't mean anything anymore. So I think they need to bring meaning back to strongholds. Hightail came out on my birthday? Wait, what? Well, they only had an announcement about Hightail today. I'm gonna have to make a video about that later.
I'm not ready yet.
But yeah, like they have this big opportunity to do something special and fun with these strongholds. Like, it should be that your clan gets to claim, or guild gets to claim one or several strongholds, and then like periodically, like that's an event that you get to do, is like your stronghold's gonna get invaded and you have to go defend it and protect it. I think that would be really fun. These damn mortars are trying to kill me. Oh, the trailer came out on your birthday. That's cool.
I'm low on essence.
Freaking mortars, man. All right. I can't even like kill these guys hitting damn walls. There we go. Couple blue. I like to max level all the glyphs to see what different types of builds with the add bonuses. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is though, is like you can do that and want to see how much XP it takes to do, but like you're gonna want to be spending your XP on the
I'm not ready yet.
Why is the bosses, how's the boss taking damage? You guys see that? Oh, it wasn't a boss. What was that?
I'm low on essence.
Generate some corpses.
I need more time.
Get out of the mortar. Get out of the mortar. Don't stand too close to the dude. Get out of the mortar. Yeah, like I'm doing pretty decent damage against this guy. I'm not Minotaur with like one shots, but like, oh shit, you asshole. There he goes. Like that's a pretty quick kill for me. Is this the one? Yeah, I want to keep upgrading this one because it's getting my overpower up. What's the highest tier I have? Fit 61. And it's Avenger, which making him deal more damage. Oh, okay. Avenger's not too bad. I'm trying to see how high I can push. Let's see, 892. $858. Look at item power. If it's not 925, I don't want it unless it's a ring. Maybe I'll take better. I could find better. Critical strike chance, critical strike damage, lucky hit chance. So this is, oh, but my ring I have right there is actually like not bad. It's already 871. So this is not going to be better. They're not max rolls or anything like that. Amulet is 858. Okay, salvage all. much longer is this blood harvest up for? Or Helltide. $50. Which zone are we in? Oh, look, they're intersecting. Okay, let's check it out. Minotaur says when they intersected that they actually intersected. Let's see if this is true. Oh, no, they don't. This, wait, they do. This area right down here is intersecting. This is not. So this should be both.
I need more time.
Let's see if we get any cinders from this. Yeah, see, like these guys aren't dropping cinders. Yeah, I think all it is ultimately is a visual overlap where blood harvest wins the overlap. That's all it is. See, this is such a missed opportunity to like actually have something that's really freaking cool. See you, Mustafa.
I need more time. I need more essence.
Okay, let's actually go like into... Where are the events that I normally like to run here? Oh. Never mind. I thought we were like actually in Helltide, but we're not. See you, Thumbelina. Oh, how can I not do a siphon?
I'm not ready yet. I need more essence. I'm not ready yet.
All right, it's about to start getting hairy.
I need more time. I need more time.
Trying to fear me.
I need more time. And lack the required essence.
Bloodseekers! Down!
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I need more essence. I have no potions.
I beat it. I did it. trying to not like die at the end here after I've already actually defeated the event. So I usually, this is where I do sometimes die because like the hard guys at the very end. Ancestral ring. Oh, sacrilegious soul, 872. Oh, it's a 1.6 second instead of 1 second though. That kind of sucks. I don't know if that's going to be worth putting on. Slightly higher lucky hit. The max life's a lot higher, especially when I upgrade it. It's only got 1 rank of corpse skills instead of 2. But I think that upgrades when I get max essence. Corpse tendrils every 13 seconds is really going to hurt my DPS a lot. I'm probably not going to use it. Oh, and can't forget their contradictory statement in that Campfire. We think every ARPG should have a loot filter. We're trying everything we can to not put in a loot filter. Yeah. Like, they have this like weird belief that if you do loot well enough that you don't need a loot filter, but I just don't think that that's true. Here, I'm just gonna exit. I think for a game genre that is based off of finding a lot of loot and then looking for the loot that's best for you, a filter is absolutely required for that. Like 100% required to make that work. I should be able to go in and at this stage of the game, this late stage of the game, I should be able to say, I only want to see item power 925 helmets that have total armor, max life. Where's my thing at? Total armor, max life, and like 2 resists on it. Right? I only want to see a chest piece that's item power 925, this total armor, max life, damage, and 1 resist. And I'll just put resist as like a blank category, right? Or maybe even I just put those 3 because I could re-roll the resist if I need to. I only need 3 of the 4 things to be perfect, not all 4 things. But then I should be able to go in and say, okay, well, necklace, I'll take item power 900 or higher, and then these are the things I want on it. Oh no, you're buffering. That's not on my end. My end's good. My end is 100% good. But yeah, like a loot filter is 100% needed. Like I need to. Just kidding. Stop it. I should be able to go in and just like it'll take a little bit to do. I understand. I should say I want nothing except these things. And then those are the only things I get shown. And maybe I'm okay with being shown like all like legendary. Or actually, I should be even be able to say, and I'm okay with seeing legendaries that have this aspect. And maybe even at this roll or higher, but at the very least, only seeing legendaries that have the aspect that I want. And then you can show me all the uniques. Like there should be so many tiers that I can do. If I really want to make it complex, I can. And if somebody else doesn't want to make it that complex, they can just say, yeah, I just want to see all 925 stuff, and I only want to see boots or in pants or something like that. You know what I mean? Like people can maybe make it like simple if they want to, but I wouldn't want to do that. I'd want to make mine very like intricate and complex. Also, I've realized something, like my willpower extremely low, my dexterity pretty low. I think willpower is like health, isn't it? Oh, willpower increases overpower damage. So actually building willpower would be a good idea. Increases resource regeneration. Dex increases crit strike chance. Intelligence increases resistance to all elements and increases skill damage. Like that's actually probably one of the worst things for me to take from a like on item perspective. But like I'm just thinking of like some of these, like this requires intelligence, so I do need to get to 735 intelligence probably for that, like that, right? If I look here, dexterity, I'm almost at that point. Is there anything else on this board I'm taking? What's this? Intelligence, willpower, blood orb healing. Like blood orb healing doesn't even matter to me. Neither is damage after picking up a blood orb. Like I might have to like re-look at like a couple of these things now that I've like changed this build around a little bit. Where did Paragon? Oh, let me go to the other build thing. Hold on, the other build site. I don't know. I'm not really happy with like, I don't really like care for a lot of the Paragon boards for Necro. They don't really like aid my build out at all. I think I have what, 5 things, and it's basically everything except for the darkness one and the 2 these 2, the minion ones. Like this gives golem armor, golem damage. Like I don't really rely on those things. I'm doing the damage. Survivability for my golems, not really an issue. I don't know what other yellows are on the board. Golem armor, assuming that's probably damage. Golem damage, golem damage, golem damage. Yeah, like these don't really do anything for me. Whereas like this board, even though I don't care about blood orb healing because I'm not picking up the blood orbs, I don't care about damage for 5 seconds after picking up a blood orb because I'm not picking them up. I don't care about these at all, but I do care about this and this and this and this. So I have to goot this board, and you have to get the glyph. But like I could do without these. Like I don't care about them. Blood orb healing does nothing for me. I have to go through this one. Oh, I think I changed my path on this thing. Like I think now what I did was like I did this. I don't need this or this. I have to go through that. But like I don't need this or this. And now I have like 3 extra points. 2 extra points. I also don't need, oh, this has the overpower damage on it. That's actually good. It's like if I could boost these up, like boost rare nodes for this one, that'd be good. I may have to, like, we'll have to see how things go. I may end up like changing some things with Paragon a little bit. Let's just double check, see how today's video is doing. Oh wait, holy shit, it's not today. Oh wow, look, it's not today. This is that well, this will save Diablo 4 video. Like look at this, holy shit, where did this come from? Any comments on this thing? I'm gonna reply here. Let's live reply to some of these comments. Yeah, but none of the stuff is rewarding enough. This is somewhat true and should be looked at. Getting the parts for the boss fights is nice. I think Legion events, Helltide Commanders, Legion events and Helltide Commanders should have a chance to, or should be guaranteed, I can't spell this word right, guaranteed to drop at least 1 or 2 item power 925 items for players that are like level 80 plus or so. I think this is not working concept. I don't know what that means. It's interesting, but if I think grind for Cinders and Bloodlures, I just say no thanks. Diablo's going for the right direction, but there is still a lot they can do. Truly hope the game will succeed, but we will see that. I see what you're saying, but it could definitely help and add some excitement if you start combining these events, which will increase the rate in which you are farming for these things and give you more unique encounters with already existing mechanics in the game, while of course still adding new things that are fun, impactful each season. Things I want to see in future Diablo 4 patch updates if it's possible. 1, he's only listed, oh no, he's got a few things. 1, oh wow, he's got a lot. I'm not gonna look at that one right now. I manually kind of do this now on my own. Like if I have a quest that takes me to a dungeon, I sit on it a while to see if I can get Whisper's mission there, and especially regular world quests that appear in these Helltide Blood Harvests that do them double it. Yeah, it can be fun. One of the reasons I love the Blood Harvest so much is that you always complete a full set of Whispers doing it, giving you a fun 2-for-1 with this event. If they did more of this, it would only feel better. Cool. I'm sorry, I'm diving like analytics with you guys now. Only picked up a couple subscribers from that. Wish would have got some more. Here's the impression bump that hit. Oh wow, it's gonna keep going because look, so this is like a big thing, guys, is CTR. I'm surprised we didn't pick up more viewers that are like finding this video and like decide to pop in a stream. But CTR is important. It's a driver, right? The more people are clicking on like something that you put out, the more they're going to serve it. And the fact that like we're going through this big spike right now, and on top of that, CTR is maintaining and actually increasing. The spike's going to last for a little while. Also, view duration is like hovering at about the same, so that's not hurting it. This is cool. I'm going to keep a lookout on that. I wonder if we got any kind of a spike to this. I don't think we did. No, this has been doing good though. It's been kind of steady. It was tanking a little bit recently. All right, so anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call it not a day, but I'm gonna call it for now. I have a couple like video related things I want to do. My son's gonna be home soon, so it'll be like a little bit of family time for a couple hours. I think the plan is tonight I'm gonna do one more round of D4. Tomorrow is the last like full day of Fortnite OG, so tomorrow night will probably be Fortnite. Saturday night there will be no Fortnite because the servers will be down, so it'll probably be Diablo again, and then Sunday will definitely be some Fortnite time. We'll have to see how it all fits in with like what's going on, what we're doing this weekend, etc., etc. The wife's kind of sick, so I might not be going too many places. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I will see you in a few hours for some more D4. Minnow, Nixter, Be ready. Bye for now. Oh, wait. I wanna raid out because there's some big streamers on right now, and I don't know if they are accepting raids. Ginger's on. Let's just search Diablo 4. See, I don't think they have yeah, like I bet you Wujijo does not have it. I bet you Rax does not have it enabled. Like these guys, nope, he doesn't. I'm gonna have to tag them. I doubt they see it. But Ginger Games is on. Ginger Gaming Mentor's on. So we'll send you guys to Ginger. All right, see you later. Bye.